What's up, guys? Let's pick some fights today. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern, we have UFC Fight Night in Paris. Main event, Nasruddin Imavov versus Caio Borralho. It's a massive fight. Big for the middleweight division. The winner of this is going to take on Khamzat Chimaev for the belt in his next fight. That's what I believe. I mean, there's other interesting fights like Fluffy versus RDR. But, I mean, we could talk about that either at the end of this video or probably in the next one. But yeah, big fight, super excited, super pumped for this fight, and this card just in general. It's an underrated card. It's got a lot of like just banger after banger. I mean, we've had some cancellations, which I'll rant about later. But anyway, let's get some things out of the way. The face cam, I don't know how long we're going to keep that for. We might keep it. We might not. We might just take it away and I just go incognito for the rest of my life and nobody who's not one of my friends knows who I am, and we just make money anonymously. Who knows? It's whatever the people want. The people pay. That's what Yoel said. So whatever you guys want, you know, I'll do, you know, within reason, obviously. But yeah, leave thoughtful comments. Don't troll and just be like, oh, you look cute. Like, don't be an asshole. Just be nice to me. Share this with all your friends and stuff. Also, the Cage Doctor name, don't know how long, or don't know if I'm going to keep that name. Somebody in the comments or somebody text me if you like that name. If you don't like the name, just give me a suggestion because I'm kind of open to anything. You know, it's okay. And as for our background, we have I'm just pointing over at Charles Oliveira. I beat a champion. Yeah, anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into this fight. And we start off with a banger. Bannon versus Sam Hughes. Strawweight fight. Rarely do you see the first fight on some of these cards be an absolute heater and a banger, but this is one of them. Shauna Bannon's one of my girls, fellow Irishman or Irish woman, so she's got a special place in my heart. I always have bias towards them. Some people, they're Dagestani bias. I'm an Irish guy. I stand by my people, so I'm gonna stand by Shauna Bannon for the most part. You'll see as I give prediction for this fight. As you can see, Shauna Bannon 7-1. Sam Hughes 10-6. Sam Hughes minus 335 favorite, and Shauna Bannon plus 270 dog. I wouldn't put this fight on your parlay whatsoever. You never know what kind of these strawweight fights with the women. Really anything can happen. I mean, who knows? Usually the decision, so I guess not really everything can happen, but just don't mess up your parlay on the first fight. I'm gonna start out by pointing out something. And maybe you might have to zoom in a little bit on your screen to see this, but Tapology, the website I'm using right now to pick these fights, they always put these stupid nicknames for these fighters. And sometimes you get ones that you're like, oh, I know, I've heard them call these fighters that. You get like Dustin, the Diamond Poirier, Charles do Bronx Oliveira. You know, like you associate those nicknames with the fighters. And then you'll get these prelim guys and girls, these women and male fighters, and you're just like, these nicknames are absolutely ridiculous. Shauna Bannon's nickname is Mama B. Who has ever called her that? Mama B sounds like a nickname that you'd give to like a fat southern woman who cooks great food, but if you ate it more than once a week, it would give you diabetes and kill you. So, odd name. I don't know where she got that one from. And then Sam Hughes is the Sampage. I mean, that's equally terrible. That's like a Disney Channel movie star kind of nickname where she plays soccer and then she gets like hurt and then her dad's like, come on, the Sampage has got it. And then at the end of the movie she like scores a goal or something and then everybody like jumps on her and then she sings a song or something dumb. So both nicknames absolutely awful. Mama B versus Sampage, hate them both. But let's get into the actual analysis of this fight. Shauna Bannon doesn't do particularly anything well. I'm leaning Hughes for this fight, and I know I said I stand by my my Irish women and my country folk, but that's not really true. I don't really think Hughes actually has to worry about literally anything with Shauna Bannon. She does literally nothing amazing. Hughes, I mean, she's 10-6, and I'd probably say all 10 of her wins are against mid fighters. She's kind of tough, but I'm leaning close decision. I'm leaning close decision for Sam Hughes. That's kind of how I feel. Now, there is something else I want you to take into account. And this is something I would want to take into account if you were to bet on this. from looks alone, Shauna Bannon should win this fight by a mile. Her picture on here, and I've seen interviews of her, and she didn't look as great, but this picture, she does look beautiful. So, if you want to pick off looks, pick Shauna Bannon. Sam Hughes kind of looks like Brick from the middle. That would be kind of what I would say she looks like. But either way, she's a much better martial artist. So if you just want to go basically off of fighting ability, take Sam Hughes by decision. I would not bet on this fight. Whatever. It's going to be a banger, though. This is where the card really starts, though, in my opinion. Excuse me for mispronouncing this name. Rinat Fakhridinov versus Andreas Gustaffson. Now, Rinat is an interesting guy. You look at this 24-1 record, and you see he's from Russia. He probably is legitimately, I'd say, 17 of those fights, probably more, have just been against cans. You know how these Russians, they work. I mean, they just pad their stats against cans. They get to the UFC. You know, they fight a couple more cans. And then eventually they start taking on, like, you know, decent fighters. Andreas Gustafsson would fit into that decent fighter. And actually, let me point something out. Look at the nicknames on these guys. My guy Rinat, whatever his name is. I know him. I've watched him fight. I just suck with some of these pronouncing names. Gladiator, a simple nickname, but it's not something stupid. And then Andreas Gustafsson is Bane, and a big welterweight fight. I'm leaning Gustavsson. Now, something to point out is this fight should actually be so much higher on the card. Like Andreas Gustafsson, like I've seen him, like I've actually tuned into like early prelims to watch him fight. He had that decision with Chaos Williams. What card was that on? I mean, it says 2 months ago. I don't really remember. And then he was in the Contender Series. I think he like looks good. He can keep pressure on Rinat. But another thing you got to point out is Rinat, this guy has won so many bullshit decisions. I mean, he beat Brian Battle 2 years ago. I don't really remember that fight that much, even as a Brian Battle guy. But his last two against Nicholas Dalby and Carlos Leal, highly controversial. And before we even get more into this fight, Carlos Leal, fuck you. You use steroids. I told a lot of people to bet on you. I think it was UFC Abu Dhabi with the Whitaker RDR main event. I was like, this guy, he's going to knock... who did he lose to? I don't even remember who he lost to. But I was like, he's going to knock this guy out really early. It was like some Russian. Excuse me, I forgot his name. He's actually decent. And he just got pieced and just died. And I was like, I'm never betting on you again. All you do is use steroids. I mean, if you look at him, he's absolutely jacked. But, yeah. The judges love Rinat, though. This guy, and let me tell you something, a lot of his fights are in Saudi Arabia, so you know he's getting blown off by a lot of those Russians. That's different, though. We're in France now. Those judges, they're not going to be helping you out anymore. I think Rinat, he'll be dominant early like he usually is. Gustafsson takes a little bit of time to get into some of these fights to like field out and then apply the pressure. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a dominant first now for Rinat. The one thing that like keeps me away from picking Rinat though is like he's just fought such like he just fights guys that like they don't put enough pressure on him in the last round. And Gustafsson, he's gonna throw a wide variety of stuff, elbows, knees. I would expect a dominant third round of him. You want to go Andreas Gustafsson third round knockout or TKO? I wouldn't even blame you. Like that's like my second pick on this. And Rinat, he just leaves all his fights close. He doesn't really beat anybody. The judges save him every single time. If an opponent lands like maybe 2 or 3 more shots that actually hurt, he probably goes down and loses. Or maybe not gets finished, but just loses by decision. Gustafsson's he's going to have the constant pressure. Rinat's not going to like out wrestle him the whole fight. It'll be high paced. You know, I guess you never know if it goes to the decision. You know, as I said before, Rinat, he's been blown off by the judges by decision multiple times. But I'm going to go on Andreas Gustafsson, one of my guys. He's a guy that I like. Whenever I see this guy, I'm like, I liked him on the Contender Series. He just puts interesting right. He's got some of the most interesting collection of tattoos ever. If you look into his background, that guy, he's insane. So I'm going to go Andreas Gustafsson by decision. Like you might say boring star by far because I picked 2 decisions. I don't care. That's where I'm leaning. Now, this is one of those fights. It's like, who cares? Like, who cares about Brad Tavares in 2025? Who really ever cared about him anyway? You know what I mean? He's been around for a minute, though. I mean, he's 37. I kind of forgot how old he was. And he's fighting Robert Bryzcek in a middleweight bout. Who really cares about these dudes? I'm probably leaning Brad Tavares to win by a dumb decision. He literally does nothing impressive. He's like the shitbag sparring partner in UFC 5, where he's just like there. He's just a body. Like, he's not going to impress you anything. He'll throw like some freaking calf kicks. I guess he could always get he could get knocked out like funny and just die in the middle of this fight, which would be funny if he just got absolutely KO'd, because I really don't want him to win. But Bryzcek's pretty boring too. He really hasn't done anything either. This will just be hit or miss. Brad Tavares is at least a name though. Like, I'd say, casuals probably don't know who Brad Tavares is, but people will know who he is. Like, he's not a nobody. I don't even know how Robert Bryzcek also really has a job. You know what I mean? Like, what is he? I know he's a slight underdog. He's only fought once in UFC. He fought in this, I guarantee this was in some Polish guy's backyard. Like, I have no clue. He lost his only fight against Potieria. Sorry, I'm so bad with some of these. But listen, I'll say one thing about Brad Tavares. He did beat GM3 now. GM3's officially washed right now. He lost his last fight to Olasheshek. But it's just something to note. At least he has a win over a guy. I'm like, he's respectable. Brad Tavares also lost to Gregory Rodriguez and Iron Turtle, which are respectable losses. So you could say, you know, at least he's lost to people who I'd say, like, that's a UFC fighter. Like, they're good. This will just be like some boring stand-up fight, though. Who really cares? Brad Tavares is more well-rounded. He's more experienced. I'll just take him by decision. That's kind of it. There's not going to be a finish in this fight. Of the 3 fights right now, I guess I would lean Andreas Gustafsson has a shot at finishing. This is really where the card starts, in my opinion. Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters, welterweight bout. Sam Patterson was a lightweight, moved up to welterweight, and has worked out very well for him. Only 29, and these are big welterweights. Trey Waters is 6'5". Sam Patterson 6'3". So these are bigger guys, which I like. This is going to be an exciting fight. Sam Patterson, I think, is going to have a tougher time finishing Trey Waters, though. Trey Waters, I do think, is at least, like, he's a decent fighter. He's good. I like him. Sam Patterson, though, as I'm kind of showing you, he's finished guys by, like, Kiefer Crosby, he submitted him. He also had another submission, a rear naked choke. He's a rear naked choke guy. He also I remember he beat the shit out of Danny Borralho. That was nice. Good, like, Trey Waters is massive, as I pointed out before, but he's good and rangy. Like, he can fight. I see why the odds are so close. But Sam Patterson is just, I would say, he's just overall better. He's better on his feet. He can really threaten the submission. He also will have control time. He's also he's also a better overall grappler. Has better variety of strikes. And yeah. A little bit more on Trey Waters, though. Like, he did lose to Gabriel Bonfim, and fuck Gabriel Bonfim. He held Wonder Boy up against a cage for fucking 5 minutes. He sucks. I can't wait. Who's he fighting? Randy Brown? Randy Brown's gonna put you out cold, you bitch. I hope you lose and you're gonna never be ranked again. You suck. And Sam Patterson, again, looked good at welterweight. He also, if you look at, like, I was looking through, like, some of where he came up. I think he was in Cage Fighters or something. Or no, it wasn't Cage Fighters, but he was fighting, like, a lot of, like, Dagestani guys and, like, tougher wrestlers, and he fared decent against them. And he's just had a tougher road than Trey Waters. He has better finishing potential. He knocked out Danny Borralho, as I said earlier. I like Sam Patterson, and I was leaning initially decision for Sam Patterson. But I'm going to go choke. I'm going to say he subs him. I'm going to say he subs him in round 2. Sam Patterson is a guy I'm highly interested in. Not that way, but I just want to see where this guy goes. He's just got a nice variety of ways he can win, and I like that. I hope he wins this fight. I want to see more of him. So, yeah, we're going to take Sam Patterson by round 2 sub, probably rear naked, maybe a dart choke. But, yeah. Now for this next fight, Cal Fernandes versus Harry Hardwick. Now, this was originally supposed to be, what's his name? ZM. I know the guy's name. What's his name? ZM. It's like ZM Follis or something. He was supposed to fight Fernandes, and then his grandma died, And then he just dropped out of the fight, which is understandable. Rest in peace to his grandma. Harry Hardwick, like, he's never fought in the UFC before. I don't care about him. I was going to go Fernandes anyway. We'll just take him by decision. I'm sorry. I have nothing interesting to say about this fight. He did KO Muhammad Yahya, who's Yahya, who absolutely sucks. I mean, he got remember didn't he break the record for most times knocked down against, who was it, Steve Nigan? What, a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago? So like, I guess he has beat somebody a name who sucks. Like, he's not good. But it is something to say. So, Cal Fernandes, I'm going to just lean you by decision. Who cares? Now, again, another fight that I like. Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delija. Two Europeans. You got to love this battle right here. Marcin Tybura, I think he's the number 7 ranked heavyweight. Which is crazy because he isn't really that good. It shows you how shit the heavyweight division is. That Marcin Tybura is even fucking that highly ranked within the top 10. And Tybura is also 39, which I didn't even realize how old he is. And Ante Delija is also fucking old. I mean, he's 35. I mean, that's insane. This is an Unk battle. Ante Delija, this is his first fight in the UFC. He was previously in the PFL. I'm leaning early Marcin Tybura by, like, decision or, like, ground and pound TKO in, like, the 3rd round. Tybura's just going to get him up against the fence, and as long as he mixes up his takedowns, I think he should be fine. He's kind of like an ultimate gatekeeper, Marcin Tybura. Like, if you beat him... Well, actually, this would apply to, like, literally any other division if Marcin Tybura was in it. I'd be like, if you beat him, like, you deserve to be ranked, and if you lose, you know, you don't. But, like, literally the heavyweights are so shit that, like, even if you lost to Marcin Tybura and you probably put up a good fight, they'd stick you at 15 and say, you know, here you go, kid. Like, the heavyweights just suck that much. Deja's also bigger than Marcin Tybura, which is interesting. I mean, these guys are big. 6'5" for Ante Delija and 6'3" for Marcin Tybura. Delija has, like, also decent experience. Like, I know we like to shit on the PFL, but at least it's not like one of those random leagues in, like, a rundown Soviet subway station where they're just punching, you know, other drunk Croatians in the face. And it's like, oh, let's sign this guy. I also believe Ante Delija is trained with Tom Aspinall. So that's something. And I like his nickname, The Walking Trouble. I will say that's a good nickname. See, that's one. It's not like fucking Mama B, which sucked. I don't even know if Marcin Tybura is, like, good enough to finish this guy. Like, I know I said ground and pound earlier, but, like, yeah, I just think this fight's going to go to decision. I'm leaning Marcin Tybura, but Ante Delija I could see winning this because I don't think he's as much of a can as, like, some of the shit boxes that Marcin Tybura has beat. Like Mick Parkin. Like, these guys just... See, he lost to Sergey Spivak, and he did get KO'd by Tom Aspinall. No one forget that. But I lean him. I'm just giving him respect. I don't really know. This is an interesting fight, though. I could see Ante Delija win. It's such, like, a near-even betting, like, the betting odds. So there's nothing really, like... You're not really getting any value on this fight, really, at all. But it's a good heavyweight fight. I'm excited. I know it might not be super exciting to everybody, but I like watching Marcin Tybura fight. He's like a cool guy. You know what I mean? All right, last fight on the prelim, the feature fight on the prelim. It was supposed to be Gomis versus Robert Ruchala. And then we'll get into the Patricio Pitbull Keita debacle. I'm going to rant about that. But that's besides the point. Omar Sy versus Brenson Ribeiro. Sy lost to Alonzo Menafield his last fight. Who, like, I remember watching that fight, and again, some of these light heavyweights, like, I think the top 15's okay, but the ones that are on, like, the outside looking in are just suck. Like, Omar Sy, like, he's kind of elusive. Like, if you look at Omar Sy, you're like, this guy should be good. But he just, like, he really isn't anything special. Like, Alonzo Menafield, the guy he lost to, like, just nothing special. I expect this to be a boring fight. Omar Sy has, like, negative fight IQ also, but he's just elusive. Like, he just moves like he should be good, though. That's kind of the frustrating thing with him. I think he's a lot longer than, or 2 inches in reach over Brenson Ribeiro. He's also an inch taller. I just think he's going to use his length. He's better grappling. He's just better well-rounded. He's also in France, and he is French. That's added plot armor. I like that for Omar Sy. Like a little bit of a boost. Like a little chemistry boost to Omar Sy. He'll be with the French people. This is just also odd matchmaking for Brenson Ribeiro. I mean, if you look at his last couple of fights, like, I just don't understand what they're doing with him. I mean, a year ago, he got absolutely killed by Minyang Zhang. He's just weird. I don't really think he's any good. He's from Brazil, so it hurts to say. I'd probably just pick, like, Sai's going to win, like, a 30-27 decision. And I said earlier that this card was going to be exciting, and I think I picked 4 of the last 5 by decision. I guess he could knock him out. I mean, it's not impossible, but he has some finishing, but I don't really think he's got that. That Alonzo Benefield fight really left some, like a bad taste in my mouth where I was like, hey, who this guy, brother? He's not even that good. Next fight, we're on to the main card right now, the first fight of the main card. This was supposed to be Patricio Pitbull versus Keita, but Losine Keita. But Losine Keita's fat ass couldn't make weight for a 145 featherweight fight. He weighed in at 149. I'd seen this guy before I talk about William Gomis or Ruchala. I do want to talk about this. This guy was getting glazed on Twitter for a long time. Like, you had fans calling him like the Black Ilya Topuria. Like, I saw that. Like, that was a real thing. And if you watch him fight, like, he's very hectic. Like, he throws these like big overhands, and it's very wild. Like, if it hits you, you're going down. But like, little too jittery for me. And like, you could see, like, if you're patient and he fought like a good vet, like a Patricio Pitbull, like, he'd make him pay. And I didn't even pick Pitbull to knock him out. I kind of figured Pitbull would by decision because he's extremely boring. Patricio Pitbull, like, also, like, would have just exploited everything, would have shot for takedowns, would have just been boring ass Patricio Pitbull where he sits at range, he doesn't really fucking do anything. Just whatever. And Pitbull, another thing to point out about him, and I get it, you're like, Kieran, get on with the rest of this fight. Like, get on with the rest of this card. I just have to bring this up to Patricio Pitbull. Like, every single time he throws like a punch, like an overhand right or something, he has like a 45-second cooldown for when he can throw like his next strike. Like, he's got to keep his guard up and just move around the center of the octagon and not do anything. And he seems like a cool guy too. And I like that after this fight, he's essentially just trolling Keita. He's like, this guy calls himself the Black Panther. Well, he's actually the Fat Panther. And I like that. And who'd he call out? I forget who he called out after this. Like, after this fight got canceled. But I think it was Arnold Allen. He called out Arnold Allen. Which I'm just like, you know what? Good for Patricio Pitbull. I don't really enjoy watching you do anything inside the octagon. But, you know, at least you're trying to be active and realize I'm old as shit. Might as well just, like, get in the octagon as much as possible. Which I like. So he would have won that fight by decision. Keita, he would have been loose. But fuck you. He got cut from the UFC. He'll never be back. If you can't make weight on your first fight, and Patricio Pitbull flew from fucking Brazil all the way to France. I think Keita's from Belgium. So he went all the way over here, and he's trying to be active. Like, go fuck yourself. Losine Keita, if you ever come into UFC, I'll just continue to pick against you. And it's not even because you disrespected one of my guys. I just don't appreciate fat dudes who can't make weight. And he's like, oh, it's the first time in my life I haven't been able to make weight. Oh, I feel so bad. It's your first shot. This is like your chance. If you went out there and flatline KO Patricio Pitbull, people would have taken notice and been like, oh, you know, they would have probably given you like an interesting bottom tier ranked guy in featherweight, or maybe like another interesting fighter who's borderline being ranked. And you could build a nice reputation. Now you're going to go fight in fucking PFL or some shitty ass promotion and never accomplish anything in your life. So, fuck that. Anyway, William Gomis, Robert Ruchala, though, first fight in the main card, featherweight fight. I like this fight. Robert Ruchala, I've seen, he's like a bigger featherweight. They're both actually bigger. Like, William Gomis is 6 foot and Robert Ruchala is 5'10". If you look at him, like, he looks a little bit of like a bigger 5'10", you know what I mean? Some people want to say like Robert Ruchala is like a random, and I watched a little bit of him. I guess he is a random. And you might go like, a little brother, who this guy? Where's his black belt? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things. I know I kind of said this fight was going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a finish one way or another. And William Gomis has kept like all of his fights close. And he's from France. So you might say again, is that added like plot armor and a little bit of boost? I don't know. I do like that Robert Ruchala can mix it up a little bit. And he has fought some people. I mean, I know he fought in KSW in Poland, I believe that's in, or Russia. And I know most of these are nobodies to you. But like, I watched a little bit of him. Like, some of these dudes weren't like absolute cans. You know what I mean? And another thing to point about William Gomis, he's had some like bad weight cuts recently where he's just like, they've taken a toll on his body. And that does worry me a little bit. And I'm on the fence about this one. The close fights of William Gomis recently make me slightly nervous. William Gomis, I could just see get a kick right up the middle and knock him out, like a front kick to the face in round 1 or 2. And that wouldn't surprise me. But I could also see like Robert Ruchala just drop him and then just finish him on the ground. I think there's going to be a finish in this fight. Let's go with the underdog. Because in all seriousness, and I know I've tried, like I picked Omar's side because he was French. Like I have a bias against French people. Like I really don't fucking care about these people. I just think they're losers naturally. I'm going to go Robert Ruchala second round TKO. The close fights of William Gomis in the weight cut that he's been on, that worries me. He could just get a front kick up the middle. I think either way, this is going to be a knockout. If the front kick happens, William Gomis knocks Robert Ruchala out, expect it to be kind of like a lively KO. Like you almost like can't look away because of how gross of a KO it is. It's going to be nasty if that happens. But I'm going to predict that Robert Ruchala kind of just keeps the pressure on him, like gets him close, like just knocks him down and then finishes him on the ground. That's kind of my analysis for this fight. Not super in depth or anything, but whatever. Let's go next fight on the card. Axel Sola versus Rhys McKee. They gave Axel Sola here a picture. He, on the UFC website, I think, or on like Prize Picks, he doesn't even have a picture. Like he's like a locked Lego character. Like, when you're playing those Lego games and you haven't unlocked the character yet, like he's just a black figure. Like he's just nothing. So that alone gives you, reason to worry because you're like, why would I pick a dude who doesn't even have a picture? But on Tapology, they're nice enough and they gave him a picture. So I'm leaning Rhys McKee. He's Ireland too. Northern Ireland though, so he's really fake Ireland. You know what I mean? Where he's fighting out of. I don't really like the Northern Islanders. You know what I mean? They're kind of fake. I do lean him. I mean, it's even odds, essentially. He got the doctor stoppage on Daniel Frunza recently. He looked good in that fight, too. And Axel Sola he got dropped in his last fight and was getting pieced up, and he's not going to mix up his grappling. And I don't know if he's going to be in the clinch enough in this fight to, like, win. I mean, I guess if he is and he's really landing shots in the clinch, he could do well. I think he needs to keep the fight up close in the clinch. But another thing to point out is, like, Rhys McKee, he's got good elbows and knees in the clinch also. He's kind of a little bit of a dog. If Axel Sola ever wants to win in the UFC, he needs to get a fight on he needs to get a picture on the UFC website or on Prize Picks, whatever I saw it on. He can't be a black figure anymore. And he also just like didn't look good in the last fight against some random French dude who was probably making baguettes on his, his side time. So, and he also doesn't have good enough ground game. Rhys McKee could probably just keep him at range and win this fight if he wants to. Even if it comes in close, I still lean him. Let's do our first round 1 TKO. Axel Sola, just a loser. Fuck these French people, honestly. I'm going to ride with a Northern Islander, which I don't always do, but we're going to do it. He might not really even be from Northern Ireland, just might be fighting out of there. Skeletor is a good nickname, too. I like that. Did I miss any other cool nicknames? Like, fucking Jaguar sucks. Robert Ruchala, they couldn't even give him a nickname. Yeah, no. I like the Skeletor, though, because he really does look sickly in this picture. I mean, not his best. It was probably a rough weight cut for him. Anyway, but on to the next fight. Lightweight 155, 3 rounds. Bolaji Oki versus Mason Jones from Wales and Belgium. A little battle. I like this fight. This also should be interesting. We have the Zulu Warrior versus the Dragon. I like those nicknames are, again, decent. It all goes back to those stupid names we had in the beginning that were awful. Anyway, let me pull up some notes for this fight. I think this is going to be a scrappy fight, in the pocket fight, up close. You're going to see Borrahlo. He's going to look fast. Like, he's got fast hands. I think he's going to try and mix in the grappling. I've seen videos. He just gets sloppy when he mixes in the grappling. Mason Jones can just take this guy. I think he could take him down and threaten a submission. Pry rear naked. The thing that, again, worries me is that Borrahlo has that, like, he has the quickness in his hands to kind of get a finish. But again, it all goes back to this grappling. I think Mason Jones is just going to out-grapple him. Like, Borrahlo hasn't really set himself apart from really anybody else. Like, he got guillotined by Chris Duncan. People forget, man, Chris Duncan. But, yeah, at least he does have some experience in the UFC. Like, he's not, like, he deserves to be on this main card, in my opinion. He got guillotined to Chris Duncan, hasn't set himself apart. I think you either got to go two ways in this fight. You either go Mason Jones by decision, or you go Mason Jones by, like, sub. And you know me, I've picked enough decisions in this fight. I'm going to go Mason Jones by... No, I'm going to go Mason Jones by round 2 sub. Why not? You know what I mean? Now, listen, this is where you start to get into the my guys category. These next 3 fights. Anybody who knows me knows I'm Paul Craig Glazer. Bear Jew is his nickname. And he's taking on Modestas Bukauskas in a light heavyweight battle. Paul Craig, like, whenever you see this guy fight, you're prepared for something that is just the dumbest thing you've ever seen, ever. Like, he'll get finished in some stupid way. There'll be a no contest in some dumb way. Or he'll finish somebody in some crazy way. Like, he's a kind of an all over the place guy. I think his days of being, like, good are probably done. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, and we all remember the Rodolfo Borralho accidental upkick. Or what was that? The Lewis versus Teixeira card? Or was it the Buckley Usman card? Fight night? Like, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in terms of acting. Like, Rodolfo Borralho looks at the ref, passes out after this upkick, and then he wakes up, and he's acting like he doesn't know where he was. I've never seen an acting job. He should be cut. He should be cut. Like, I can't believe we allowed that. Especially Paul Craig, who, anytime this guy's on a card, he at least is, like, interesting. You know what I mean? If I were to lean anywhere in this fight, he's probably going to get, like, brutally finished. If I'm being honest, and I love Paul Craig. Paul Craig, he's just one of those guys who every single time he's out there, I just get excited. Like, he just sucks, though. Like, he's not good to stand up. He just can't do anything. I think he's just going to get chinned early. It'll be devastating. But also important, both these guys have trained with Tom Aspinall. Modestas and Paul Craig have both trained with Tom Aspinall. Paul Craig, I just can't see winning this, and it pains me to say that, honestly, because I'm a Paul Craig Glazer. I'll stand by him. And another thing, because I really have just glazed Paul Craig this whole time, even though I'm picking him to lose. Modestas Bukauskas, like, he got his knee snapped, I believe. I think this was the guy who got his knee snapped with that oblique kick by Khalil. And then he came back and is, like, at least he's on a 3-fight little 3-fight win streak. So I'm going to pick him to win. Just brutal knockout, like a live leak one. Like, you're going to want to look away if you're a Paul Craig fan like myself. So I'm going to go round 1. Modestas Bukauskas knockout. Like, just comical. It'll just be dumb. I guarantee Paul Craig have a moment where you're like, oh, he's kind of got him he might be able to finish him. And then, like, they'll either stand up or, like, I don't know. He'll just catch him with something. And you'll be like, again, why do I ever fall for Paul Craig? And you know what, though? If you want to throw this in your parlay and just be like, let me ride with Paul Craig, why not, honestly? Who doesn't love Paul Craig? All right, now we're into our co-main, and we'll do the main after, obviously. These are the 2 fights, obviously, everybody's here for. Benoit Saint Denis versus Mauricio Ruffy. When this fight was announced, I was extremely excited because BSD is going to get absolutely killed in this fight. The fact that this guy... I don't even think he's bad, but the fact that, like, people like Lucas Tracy were legitimately picking this guy over Dustin Poirier is just absolutely insane. I can't believe, like, we lived in a time. Who did he beat? Pravola? Matt Pravola? I think that's who it was, right? Yeah, Matt Pravola. He head kicked him and everybody freaked out about him and beat Thiago Moises. Like, that was the hype that this guy got. And people were like, oh, he's going to finish Dustin Poirier. And they got fucking clowned on. Got styled on by Dustin Poirier. He got knocked the fuck out. I will say one thing, though, about BSD. I think he's going to win the first round. I think he's probably going to just have, you know, Ruffy up against the fence. You know, like, that's just how I think. I think you get him taken down. But a lot of people want to see, like, Ruffy tested more. Like, can he stuff takedowns? I mean, obviously, everybody remembers the Bobby Green spinning heel kick. But is BSD even that much better than Bobby Green? Like, can I just put that out there? I do think he's better. But is it, like, that much of a talent gap that, like, this is really that much of a step up? I guess Benoit saying that he kind of provides, like, a little bit more, like, variety, like, takedown. And at that point, Bobby Green, he was on a fucking slide. But people forget, man, Bobby Green, he had, like, a nice run. Like, he was ranked at one point. I mean, he was ranked, I think, at the Ruffy fight. But I think he was in the top 10 at one point. People forget, man. King Green, he could fight. Other than that, I think this, like, Ruffy could just keep this fight at range and, like, he'll just win that way. Like, if it were to go to decision, he could just, like, land, like, more meaningful shots. Like, he's probably going to aura farm in the first round. Like, just throw kicks. Probably miss a couple of them. BSD will, like, take him down and then he'll throw his... Like, he's got some of the slowest hands I've ever seen. Like, he'll just throw these dumb punches. He'll shoot these dumb takedowns. Like, these slow-ass takedowns that you're like, how are you... You know, what are you even doing? He still might get him. He telegraphs the shit out of his takedowns, too, if you watch him. It's, like, incredible how much he telegraphs them. But, yeah, again, we don't... The thing that kind of interests me in this fight is, like, we don't know enough about Mauricio Ruffy yet. Like, Gene Silva, I think, has really shown, like, his variety as a mixed martial artist. Like, Kyle Borralho, like, I'll talk about him later, I guess. And Carlos Prates, I honestly think, like, he might be the best. Like, a lot of the other fighting nerds have shown it against more qualified guys than Ruffy has, and that's not against him. I mean, people are going to come out here and say, like, can he even handle the grappling? I think on the Contender Series, like, he fought a couple of those Dagestanis and, like, can stuff the takedowns well. And the fighting nerds, like, overall have looked good stopping takedowns. And BSD didn't even look that good in the last fucking fight, even though he, he won by submission. And BSD's not going to throw any feints. He keeps his fucking chin up. Ruffy's going to brutally KO him. Some nasty kick, like another spinning kick. Or, like, they'll be against the cage and then he'll, like, you know, roll off of him and then just uppercut him. Like, Ruffy is so good at picking his spots. Like, he's just very precise. BSD's not going to throw any feints. Like, he's not going to give him any variety in the striking. And his hands are so much faster. BSD also I believe he got knocked the fuck out by Rinat the Moicano. He was easy money, Benoit Saint-Denis. But I'm just gonna... This is, like, gonna be a first round or a second round knockout. That's kind of where I lead. Another thing that I also want to point out about, like, how BSD, he shoots his takedowns is, like, a lot of the guys that have fought these fighting nerds have, like, shot takedowns outside legs. Like, Bryce Mitchell, he shot outside on John Silva, and that let him open. That leaves you susceptible to kind of that guillotine. BSD, he'll shoot inside the legs, so I think he'll be able to get his hands around him. I think he will get Mauricio Ruffy taken down, even though I think Ruffy's takedown defense is underrated. I mean, we haven't really seen it tested, but you know what I mean? BSD could just also... He could come out on fire in the first round and, like, look strong. That's why I kind of lean second round knockout from Mauricio Ruffy. I'm going to go Mauricio Ruffy second round TKO. I'm pretty convinced that BSD will at least, like, he'll at least do something in the first round and, like, I don't know, look like he won a round. But again, he sucks. He's slow as shit. Telegraphs his takedowns. He has slow hands. He throws no feints. He fucking has his chin up. I hope he gets brutally fucking knocked out. So, and again, I want to see Mauricio Ruffy continue to climb the rankings. Now we're on to the main event. Nasruddin Imavov versus Caio Borralho. This is an exciting fight. I'm a fighting nerds guy. Like, through everything, I'm a fighting nerds guy. Like, I'll stand by these guys through anything. This is gonna be a close fight. I think it's gonna go all 5 rounds. I think it could also go either way. You know, I've been kind of leaning Imavov for a long time, like when this fight was initially announced. Because, like, face it, Kyle Borrahlo, like, he really hasn't fought anybody. Like, Nasruddin Imavov's got a much better resume. He's, like, a lot more battle-tested. Like, beat Izzy, beat Cannonier, beat Brennan Allen, and beat Delija. And then remember, like, that clash of heads against Chris Curtis. And if you look at, like, Kyle Borrahlo, like, he had that win against Jared Cannonier where he would have finished them. I mean, he was going to finish him. He also beat on my guy, Paul Craig. I mean, how could you forget that? He KO'd Paul Craig. Like, Magomedov is, like, a decent win. He beat Olszewski when he was a lot worse. Like, just resume, I don't think he's there yet. But another thing is, like, Kyle House was 32. Like, Imamov's a lot, like, 29. So it's not like, a lot of people, like, how they talk about Kyle is, he's just this younger guy. He's not that young. I'm not saying if he loses this fight, you know, there's no chance of ever competing for the belt. Like, he definitely can. He also hasn't fought in a year. I mean, this guy's always on fucking TV. You always see this dude on TV. And, you know, with the fucking glasses and he's just yelling and shit. Like, I see why people don't like him, but I think he's a nice guy. But he hasn't fought in forever. Imavov, he's been better. I think he's better in the pocket. I think he's a little bit faster. A little bit more dangerous on the feet. And just well-rounded. If Kyle can mix in his grappling well and keep using his jab, I think he could win. But again, like, Imavov can grapple too. And I'm kind of surprised that he's even like a slight underdog. I guess it depends on the sports book. But I was kind of thought he'd be a bigger favorite. Or just like a favorite. You know what I mean? It also makes me nervous that Kyle Borrahlo made weight for the Hamza DDP fight 3 weeks ago. And is making it again 3 weeks later. Like, that takes a toll on your body. That's something. Again, I don't know. He's just Imavov's record. He just has these wins. He has better wins, better resume, better experienced. Again, he's younger. Kyle's also just had uglier fights. So you're like, I wish you just looked better. And Imavov, I think, is coming into his prime. It'll be a striking match. These guys will shoot. Like, there'll be grappling sequences in this fight. But I think it'll be more just like picking their spots and, you know, we'll see what happens. Imavov also, his bigger moments, like his bigger finishes, make you think like this guy has it. You know what I mean? Like, he could be the champion. I don't think he'll beat Hamza. Like, don't get me wrong, but he has, like, in another life, he's the champion. His big shots look more clean. Izzy also had said Kyle Borrahlo was going to win this fight, which makes me extremely, extremely nervous. Yeah. Kyle, I just don't think he's going to outbox him. He has good calf kicks. Like, he is good jiu-jitsu, too. Again, it could go either way. I'm leaning Imavov by decision. I kind of hope it goes all 5 rounds also. Like, yeah. I'm just hoping it goes all 5 rounds. This is a good fight. You know, I'm excited for this. This should be a good overall card. Next week we have UFC Noche. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think of this video. I kind of thought I was gonna have like more jokes and stuff, but honestly, as I was going through this card, it's like these aren't all my guys. Like, I like Ruffy and Paul Craig are really the guys I go to war for, and I guess Gustaffson too. But yeah, and another thing, you know what? I'll say one last thing about this main event. If you want to take this into account, the Fighting Nerds have just been on such a run. I know you could point to the Carlos Prates losing to Ian Gary, which he should have fucking finished them, but he had a brain lapse. Kyle Borrahlo is kind of like the Iron Man of the Fighting Nerds. Like, he's the leader of the Avengers. You know what I mean? That makes you like, does he have supreme plot armor that maybe he's just never gonna lose? Like, it's something to bring up. If he wins this fight, maybe you could go there. It's like, oh, maybe he will beat Hamza. But I'm not going there yet. I think he's gonna lose by decision. And yeah, so thanks for watching the video. Excited for next week Noche. We'll hopefully do a reaction to this. We'll do a reaction video that'll be a lot shorter, maybe like a matchmaking video for a lot of these guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave feedback. Thank you.